explain to the folks online. Um, Good morning, everybody. Welcome to
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
a later edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Appreciate you guys for being here. Um,
Yeah.
so had some stuff going on this morning. Just school and traffic and driving and life. Life just kind of happened. So in fact, I figured I'd push it instead of rushing to try to get online. Um, and my my internet was interneting and it wasn't working. So that even made it even more better. All right, so I'm trying to get Matt on. I think his mailbox is full. If he's able to get it together. Oh, text. All right, cool. I could do that. There we go. Nope, that's not what I wanted. So yeah, so we're here live. So appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Hanging out with us. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Always sharing is caring. Question. What's the question? What's the question?
Oh yeah. I have a question.
Larry had a question.
'Cause
Why I turn
whenever
my
you
phone for the
whenever you have a whenever you have a question, you gotta lead with "I have a question," right? You can't just ask it. You gotta lead with it. So I have a question. So y'all know how I've been doing this whole watching what I eat, this whole intermittent fasting thing. Well, one of my favorite places to go for a quick and easy meal is the Golden Arches, McDonald's. I
Okay.
haven't had McDonald's since May.
Okay. Okay.
Today,
Let's get
the question is, I have the feeling, the urge to have some McDonald's. More, more, more specifically, the
very
steak, egg,
specific.
and cheese, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel with no eggs and
Ooh,
extra onions,
steak and cheese on a
with
bagel.
extra onions, with extra
Ooh,
onions,
with extra onions. Okay. Okay.
and I want and two hash browns.
Oh.
So the question
My
is,
podcast people, you could see Ryan McCrory's face right now. But steak and cheese, two hash browns on a bagel, uh,
the,
from McDonald's. How you feeling
the,
about that?
the
Tell us how
question
you
is,
feel, brother. Tell us how you feel.
do
And what's
do
up, Matt?
do
What's going on,
I
sir?
do I get one?
Yes.
Do I break my fast and get a McDonald's meal,
Uh huh.
or do I just like keep being a trooper?
Mm, mm.
That's my
What you say,
question.
Kaneem? Kaneem, what you say, Kaneem? I want to know Kaneem's thought, opinion first.
Well, my personal opinion is I'm gonna jump on the bag with old Larry and say I want that same thing egg cheese with them extra onions. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna jump on it. 'Cause, they don't they they ain't got steak and egg bagels no more here in Georgia. So I miss it. I reminisce when he brought it up. I was like, I had to lick my
We're gonna
lip.
reminisce
They
over
say,
you
like,
for real.
whoa, man.
Right,
That's
right.
just my opinion, though.
Ryan already know. If you asking, you know the answer.
Pride
Anytime we ask,
boycott
you already
Man,
McDonald's.
know the
Pride
answer.
boycott McDonald's.
I didn't even get a chance to say good morning. Good morning, everyone. How you guys
Good
doing?
morning.
What's
Good
going
morning.
on there, bro, man?
Doing well, doing well.
Good to see
Uh,
you, Matt. It's nice for someone to bring some health and wellness to the conversation because
Uh,
I know we are not talking about steak and McDonald's
In the same
in the
sentence.
same sentence. And then you're talking about onions and like as if
extra,
you're going to a restaurant. Like this.
extra onion.
it is a restaurant.
Listen,
they do
the
extra
time
onions.
that it takes to place your order and get your food in the bag at McDonald's is less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Oh,
So how do
Flawlessly
you
five
put
minutes.
steak into the conversation?
see, you're not supposed to question it. You're not supposed to question it.
That's the whole point.
I'm
My
going to get a
issue
big
is with
rib.
people who don't question
I'm going to
what
get a
they're
big
putting in
rib.
their mouths.
Right.
It's just a
It's just a
what is
question, brothers. Just a question.
Talk to me. Talk to me, Mr. Fitness.
Just the thought. He's tempted.
Talk to me, Mr. I care about my body. I want people to be motivated to work out, to stay in shape. Please help me understand how you put steak and McDonald's and your stomach in the same sentence.
Well, I think it was a question.
One bite at a time. But no, that's why I just should. I haven't been to McDonald's since May. I gave it up. That was one of my, if I wanted a quick meal, I would go there. That was one of my I know it's not right. Brian. You're right.
Okay. I just want you to say that out loud because Ray Kroc is rolling over saying, "Look at what I started."
Oh, Ray Kroc's the man. That's
wow.
Ray Kroc is the man. Absolutely. What's up, Jeff? Good morning. Good morning, Lisa. What up?
Okay. I'm done.
Well,
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, by the time I get close to a McDonald's, the breakfast menu will be over, so I won't be able to get the steak, egg, and cheese.
Okay.
Then,
Yeah, let's just say you should not be going through McDonald's withdrawals. Okay.
It's okay.
I think I'll blame it on the commercial that was on yesterday.
Shout out to the marketing. Shout out to McDonald's decades of amazing marketing.
Kaneen, this is what they said. You can get the steak on any one of our sandwiches. The egg McMuffin, the biscuit,
anything.
The side,
we're now like Burger King.
The McGriddle.
Bro.
Egg McMuffin will survive a nuclear blast.
When they had steak in Georgia, bro, I didn't have it on everything. I didn't have the steak on the McGriddle. So believe me, I have experienced it in all various ways.
I just want to know what the experience is a couple of hours later when you're in the restroom.
Now I can give you a graphic picture of how that goes.
We good. Appreciate you, Kaneem.
We're good. Thank you so much, man, because you tell great stories, and just imagining you telling the story paints a picture.
Well, with that said, haven't gone to McDonald's, I haven't been regular. So maybe it'll help me, make a trip to the
So we talking about bowel movements now. That's what we doing.
No, we're not.
We're good. That's it.
We're not.
We're talking about the fear we keep with my brother, like no other, Mr. Matt, genius in the building. I see Mama Corey. I know. Have I stopped at 30 minutes before time? Oh, Jeff said I use an egg McMuffin to hold the front door open. That's so disrespectful.
The egg McMuffin can double as a puck in the NHL.
Oh man!
Don't do that.
All right, bring us back to Earth, Matt.
Next subject, please. Thank you. Please.
All right. Well, thank you guys for answering my question. I'm not sure if it wasn't answered, but thank you. I will not break my fast.
Good job.
I will not break my fast. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep strong. I will do this without fear, Matt. Without fear.
Way to stay disciplined, brother. Way to stay disciplined.
Yes,
You got
Good
this,
job.
man.
Yes, sir. Good job. And it's okay.
Yeah, you tell me you eat McDonald's, I'm going to discipline you.
I'll give you a tongue lashing, Larry.
I see. Oh man.
I worked at McDonald's many years ago, so I think I'm qualified.
Long
time ago.
Long. When they had Grimace.
Yeah, back when Grimace was in the
twins. Calvin was working at McDonald's.
Oh, not Calvin.
Y'all remember Calvin?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Mickey D's marketing. What up, Sam? Good morning. Oh, he said, the new limited sweet and spicy jam at McDonald's and Mambo sauce is ended soon.
Yeah, sweet and spicy jam. It will jam you up.
When I And I saw that mambo sauce. It reminded me when I had went to when Obama had got elected the first time, right? So I was in DC, man. My buddy, we was staying on Howard University campus. So we was and one of his college buddies was a RA. And so we was staying up there, man, and he took me to this little old takeout spot. And he was telling me about the mambo sauce. And I was like, what is that mambo sauce, man? So we go up there, we get these wings and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they get the and he said, don't forget to ask for the mambo sauce. And I was like, I bet mambo, how do you spell that? He said, man, I don't know how you spell that. Just tell him mambo. I was like,
Sound it out.
We get I get the sauce, and I was like, oh, okay, it ain't nothing but sweet and sour sauce.
Right.
Why they call it mambo? I have no idea, but
I can spell mambo sauce.
sweet sour.
Biarrhea.
That don't even sound like mambo.
I know. It sounds like diarrhea.
My God.
All right, I'm
All
sorry.
right, bringing it on back. Oh, so Mama Corey, no, because I've been lifing, and I've been dropping the ball with my text messages. I'm gonna put myself on blast right here. Oh, look at me. Oh, speaking of babies, real quick. I wrote it down. Make sure I got them all. Shout out to Wesley, baby number 4.
Oh,
Hey, congratulations, Wesley.
This
nice.
Yeah, that's big. Congratulations,
Right.
to my brother Wesley.
celebrating his anniversary. Don't know how many years.
Congratulations,
Celebrating his
Ephraim.
anniversary. And
Congratulations.
shout out to Thomas. Is now just had his wedding on Sunday. So shout out
Congratulations,
to
Thomas. All right, man.
Yeah, TC.
Nice.
Growth is happening. Growth is
Yes.
So welcome everybody to the Brothers of Legacy. And again, I apologize, Mama Corey. She yelled at me, as y'all can see in the text, capital letters. She done yelled at me. I take that. I take that. I'm gonna get better. I promise. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Sound off, baby.
Tell it.
Oh, so hi, baby man. So today we're talking about the fear we keep. It's Mental Health Wednesday with my brother Matt, Genius, in the building. My book is all the way that way, so I'm gonna try to grab it while we're talking. So make sure you guys pick up Matt's new book. Let me see if I could grab some links as well as he's talking. Get my life together. What did I want to? Which way did I want to go? The fear we keep, right? So, in his book, he speaks about the dark, and the relationship. Because I think he mentioned it on the last one. I'll make sure he's sharing parts of his book, and I'm not sharing. I want to make sure we're sharing on the same page. Get it? All right. So the dark inside you. Oh, and how it's like a dad-son situation, and the dad how he talks to the son about overcoming the dark. And so today, I wanted to discuss kind of like the fear of trying to do new things, feeling that I have a purpose, I have a plan. This is honestly geared towards us that are like adult, old, because when you're young, you're kind of like more jumping into certain things. But when you get older, you get, like we talked about last time, kind of like the realities of life outweigh our imagination. We might think it, but we don't move on it because of reality. That makes sense? Okay. You'll pick it up when I'm putting down. All right. So how do we overcome that fear, of trying something new? How do we overcome that fear? Trying something new.
Wow.
Let that marinate.
Let that marinate.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll start by saying first, thanks for getting the book, man. I didn't get your review yet.
Okay.
I know you got the book, but you gotta leave that review, brother. Come on now.
Yes, I got you. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Jeff, you make sure you leave that review too, Jeff. You got it. You got it.
Thank you.
I
Oh,
think you
Jeff,
do.
I appreciate that, Jeff.
I think I'm lying.
How do you get over the fear of trying something new, man?
Yeah.
You know,
That's because
I got to sit in that for a while.
right.
You know?
Because
Well, I think you have to
Okay.
you have to create a scenario where the fear of regret outweighs the fear of risk.
Right.
I'd rather not deal with regret of having not tried
Right.
than not try at all,
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're capable of until you try. And oftentimes we say it with our mouths, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, but then we don't try anything. So where's your strength really coming from?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'd prefer to try it than to regret never trying.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. I'm sitting in it still, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of us has collected
Yeah.
a lot of irrational fears, meaning fears that aren't based with any real merit. It's kind of like this is the thing that everybody else says to be afraid of, and so let me create my own relationship towards it based on how everybody else's interaction have been around this thing,
Yeah.
And so I was gonna say this was gonna come out my mouth. I had a natural fear, of spiders, right? And so I use that word natural as if it's supposed to be inside of me,
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I think any father who have daughters, that fear has to die, right? That one has to go, because
Right.
you're gonna
Step
encounter
up.
some spiders. And so I think what we have to learn is which one of our fears are realistic, meaning they're based in a reality where you could receive harm, you could put yourself in danger, there's actual threat to your reality because of that thing,
Right.
or the fear based on what was inherited, cultural,
Right.
transgenerational.
Right.
You ever heard somebody say we don't we
No,
don't speak for everybody, we don't like frogs, or right?
Daughters and wives. Right.
And she said wives. Oh man, she gave me multiple. I only got one. But anybody who have daughters and wives, I know what you're saying, so I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the fears that we have aren't necessarily real, based on them not necessarily being a threat. It's not a real threat. It's perception based on your mind, and your mind doesn't know the difference. If you think it's true, if you're fearful of it, then your body will respond to that fear. Your heart will start racing, palms will start sweating.
Right.
And for somebody else who has a different perception of that reality, they won't be able to understand why that fear is yours, and then that's why sometimes it's more irrational than realistic,
Right. Yeah.
And so
I like before Child's Play, people weren't scared of dolls like that. They didn't even think about a doll.
Funny you should say that, man. Funny you should say that.
Like that.
They had there's a sketch comedy show where these young people made fun of that same movie. There's like, so what did you do, man? This guy's like, yeah, I'm a hero. He's like, I saw the doll and I just kicked it. And everybody's like, that's all you did? He's like, yeah, I just kicked it. Just basically showing you how irrational some of these things are. It's a doll. Right. It's probably like not even 2 feet tall.
Right. Right. Like,
I'm a grown man.
I get you.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, that's why. So yeah, because like even like your book talks about, even the fear of the dark. Like if we've never seen something scary in the dark, like there's been so many movies where the lights go out, then the lights come on, and someone's standing there, or someone's standing there in the dark. You see their eyes. Like a lot of our fear, like you said, has been from either something we've seen, something we've been told, or something you experience. I think that I like that one, because if your fear of spiders, from all spiders, have been like a daddy long leg somehow bit you. If you ever seen, they don't they're the most harmless. But you know, it bit you like, oh, every spider's a monster now. Like all of them. You know, so it's overcoming that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds rational to me. If I got bit by a spider,
right,
rational, right? But irrational would be, I've lived in the city for all my life. I've never seen a snake on a bus stop or at a restaurant. You know,
it's random.
But I'm terrified of snakes. You know, that's it's sort of an irrational fear because the snakes doesn't occupy the same space as you do. If I lived in the Caribbeans, which I did, and snakes were like in your roof, you know, where you go get water in the tree, you know, the snakes are everywhere. So it makes sense to have a rational fear with something that is common in your, you know, in your area, because you need to have a different relationship with it. Fear isn't to say that, you know, it's basically a reverence you have for it. You know, you understand that it's there and you don't want to interfere with it as much. But I think sometimes we create more of a fight flight response to things that aren't necessarily worthy of that response, you know?
Right.
Math. Oh my gosh. It's math. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's anxiety.
Yeah.
Right. It's an anxiety, and a lot of the fears that we have, there's our anxiety towards something that is that's the impact of doing it, or the side effect. I don't know how to explain it, Matt. You can probably explain it better, but the reality is, you know, fearing success, right? What is the accompaniment of the fear of success, right? Sometimes, you know, the feeling of wanting to just get it right causes you not to want to do it at all.
Right.
The anxiety that comes with getting it right, but having to keep it right.
Right.
You know, like the fear of accountability that comes with success. You know, it's one thing to get to the mountaintop, but it's another thing to stay up there. You know, I won the belt, but now I got to keep the belt. Now I got to defend the title. You know, it's that type of anxiety that causes us not to want to get in the ring in the first place.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not being accepted, all of those. And some of them start in a real place. I saw, go ahead, Kadeem.
Oh, y'all, no, I was listening. I was plugging up my charger, y'all.
Okay. Yeah. You know, Pastor is on it. I think there's a part of us that have been so trained and programmed to believe, you know, these things are more detriment if we don't do them rather than try them, you know. And so let's say you did shoot your shot, right? And you got rejected, and it was not a good feeling, right? So now you hold on to that as evidence of every single time the same response will happen. You know, that's not rational. You know, that's taking something from from micro to macro. You're making it way bigger than what it really is, when the truth is, man, we have to learn how to fill in that blank of unknown with the desired outcome or feelings that we want, right? And so like Pastor was saying earlier, I'm not the best swimmer, right? I'm not the best swimmer, but if I had to miss out on jumping off a cliff because, you know, I'm fearful, you know, I'm gonna definitely try it, because, you know, I think the enjoyment that feeling you get from actually putting yourself out there is way greater than, for me at least, in my brain, I've done the exercise enough to know the reward is greater than what's holding me back. And then I heard this, Pastor, I want you to echo on this one as well. I heard somebody said the miracle / magic, or whatever you want to call it, that we're looking for is in the thing that we're avoiding.
Woo!
Yeah. Wow. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
Wow.
The miracle or magic, whichever you want to call it, that we're looking for, we're seeking in our lives, are in the things that we're avoiding. So basically those things that we have fear or we have the distance towards, that's where your miracle is. That's where it's at for real, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because what happens, that's why I love the term breakthrough. Right. Because when you attempt it and you succeed, or you just get further than you anticipated that you would get, That's a breakthrough to a new dimension of thought,
Right.
a breakthrough to a new dimension of at least a drive for accomplishment, right? Because I tried something that I never tried, like jumping out of an airplane, man. There is nothing, well, there are plenty of experiences that are like it,
Right.
but until you do it, I can't associate it with anything. But the first time jumping out of an airplane,
Right.
everything tightens up. Right? Everything tightens up. And it doesn't loosen until you're gathering your chute on the ground.
Right.
Wow.
Right? But what is the emotion when you hit the ground? And it doesn't matter how hard you hit the ground.
Right.
Is that you're able to stand up, you roll and you stand up afterwards.
Right.
And you turn around and see your chute and you rolling that thing up. And you like, you look up at the plane still in the sky.
Yeah.
And I just came from there. Right. So what do I feel like I can do after surviving that?
Right.
Right.
Man, the things that went through my mind, most people would think were insanity. But you feel like you can do anything after you jump out of a plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is your plane drop? What is your
Right.
parachuting? What is that thing that you feel like if I do this, it opens up a whole new dimension of thought for me?
Wow.
Right. So let me throw this out there because you mentioned the plane jump, and I have nothing comparative to that. But when you know, for you that was with okay, so because this was military, right? When you made your plane jump, making this journey, was there a choice? Was there a choice in doing this plane jump? I mean, I know what you got up there. There was like they not letting
because
this
first
plane,
you have to choose to go to airborne school. To jump
okay,
school.
boom. Because this is where I want to. Because the choices, you know,
For me it was
I know
peer
once
pressure.
you up there, yeah, right.
It was peer pressure. I didn't want to be the one to not go.
Did not go. I got you.
Scared like the devil looking you in the face.
Yeah.
But you know, when the opportunity, like you can't go to Ranger school and not be airborne.
Okay.
Like you
Gotcha.
can't have this patch and not have that patch.
No.
Right? That's how it is. And so you start talking about like there was a process for this because you know I went to aerosol school, rappel school first.
Right. Okay.
So first is overcoming the fear of standing on a skid in a helicopter and rappelling down on a rope.
Okay.
Right? That's crazy. I mean, until
Yes,
you
it
do
is.
it, that's crazy.
Okay.
But again, you're at Fort Campbell. How do you go to Fort Campbell and not go to aerosol school?
I got you.
It's there. It's down the street from your unit. You know what I mean? So when the opportunity presents itself, when you're in the military, you don't want to be the one to say, "Nah, I don't want to do that."
Right.
Because now you got to deal with ridicule. So that's just the honesty behind it, right? And going through the process, it's the fear of the road march. It's the fear of climbing up a wall that is higher than anything you've ever climbed up before. And you got to look back down. You got to climb up and then climb over and then come down. You know, I had a problem with heights, man, growing up.
Okay.
Even though as a child, I jumped off rooftops and all that, but it was always scary. I just didn't want to be the one to not do it.
I got you.
So a lot of me overcoming my fears was hanging out with crazy people. You know?
Yeah.
And you got to be a little off to join the military anyway. But again, for me, I don't care how you get there. Right? Because the process is one thing, the accomplishment is something totally different. Because once you've accomplished it, it really doesn't matter how you got there. You know, there are many people playing professional sports today. Michael Jordan was cut. Right? He had to deal with the embarrassment of being cut. And he wasn't cut. He was, I don't know, he was probably 5'9", 6 feet when he got cut.
Wow.
So he wasn't short. So he had to deal with that. And then he had to deal with coming back. Kobe Bryant, when he tore his Achilles, his tendon, he had to come back. People said it was old, doesn't make sense to come back. People don't come back from that. There's so many things that come into play, and either you're going to listen to those naysayers, the voices of the naysayers,
Right.
or as Matt just alluded to, you're going to create another narrative in your mind.
Yeah.
That is the opposite of what the naysayers are saying, because a lot of our fears come from what we've heard from other people.
Yeah.
Right.
I like what Pastor was saying too, man. Like when you really think about what fear is, what fear is basically you're denying your faith. You're rejecting your faith. There's this verse that I use all throughout college that really got me out of some sticky situations. Two verses. One was in Isaiah. I can't remember. Let me see if I can find it specifically. The one that says, "I will keep you in perfect peace." I think it's Isaiah 26:3. I will keep you in perfect peace. Those who mind stay. Yeah, that verse right there was my go-to when I was fearful. When I was fearful.
Matt, you got to finish the other part of it.
I got you. I said, I will keep you in perfect peace, whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you, trust in the Lord, right? And so it was something that promoted my acceptance of the presence of something greater that allowed my fear to minimize. The other verse that really, this one got me out of a lot of sticky situations. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. I think is 1 John 4:8, somewhere around there. And man, these verses were the invitation to me of a spirit that was dwelling, that allowed my fear to be minimized. When I acknowledge God's presence, when I acknowledge the higher power's presence, when I acknowledge my source's presence, fear can't be there. And so when those things that are in front of me that allows me to feel fear, what I'm actually feeling is the absence of that presence that would take away the fear, And for me, that has been the game-changing idea, because there's nothing down here that is supposed to keep us away from that presence, that love. And so when we're feeling that absence, what you are acknowledging is that, man, I've just rejected the presence, that all-powerful, all-consuming presence. I'm saying that it's not real, right? And that's a hard way to sell it, but that's what we're doing, jumping out of it. It doesn't matter what it is, God's love is there for you. So shoot your shot, and then when the feeling of elation, joy, peace come in, then you got to also acknowledge that is the presence, that's the presence of your higher power, but that's the absence of the fear, of the anxiety. So those two verses, man, Isaiah, I think 26 and 1 John 4:8, somewhere around there. I'll keep thee in perfect peace, for those whose mind stays on. I'll keep you in perfect peace, those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Verse 4 as well, trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord and the Lord himself is the rock eternal, So all of these, man, are like, do you really believe? Are you living what you say? You actually believe, or are we just cashing in? We're just, I mean, I really, I live that life. No, we really have to show by evidence, not just by our words, but this is a great opportunity for you to practice your faith. When you feel that absence, that's calling you to say, okay, where is my faith? How much do I believe? What can I stand on right now in the face of these obstacles in front of me?
Right. And that writer was actually talking to God. He was telling God what God is capable. He was like, in King James, it's, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. He's telling God, I know you got us. Right. And keeping your mind stayed on him means my mind is off the doubt.
Man, that's beautiful.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good word, Rod. Rod, what is Rod's comment?
Rod said, hanging out with crazy people, I guess. Surround yourself with people that are not afraid or has completed whatever you are fearful of. Those that are ahead of you.
That's why you have to be careful about who you surround yourself with.
Big facts, man. Big facts.
Right? If you want to get to another level, be around people who are not afraid of risk.
Right.
Yeah. But what I will say this, and for those that, because like that's probably been my journey for a while, like finding the right group of folks to kind of be around people that are either where I'm going or at where I'm, trying to get to. what I've realized, and when you make a journey that's different, you'll find other people in that same space, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
like you if I was just desiring to jump from an airplane, I would generally start gravitating to those, getting into groups and talking to them. And I'm scared. I've never done it, but I'm here. like, you scared? I'm scared. We gonna do it though.
Right.
Yeah.
And to finally get to that place. So let me ask this though. Let me throw this out there. So we have our own individual fears, right? But as men and so not
Here
yet,
comes
not yet. Hold
Chris.
on. I should now wait on us for the morning tides and all. Not yet, brother. Not yet. Hold on. Hold off for yet.
He's getting that word.
I'm getting. So when it's just risking yourself is one level, right? But when you're making a risk that can affect everybody else around you, like all of us are men that lead households, right? So some of the risk and chances, and this is for Kaneem, because Kaneem has his business, he has, so him, you making another great move and use this financial and time, it's like, if this fails, this messes up the church money. Like other folk, we take care of other people. What we do matters to a lot of people around us. How do you get past that? The fear of failure that's
I
going to
want to share
affect
something
everybody.
because look, not only am I the president of the Air Club,
Right? Come on now. Look.
it's one thing to talk about the risk and the impact. There's always going to be the risk of impact because there's always somebody watching you.
Right.
The question is, what are they seeing? What are they witnessing?
Right.
You brought up Kaneem. I applaud him. You want to know why? Because he's in his neon colors. He's out there grinding every day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us are not going to be measured by the amount of money we make.
Right.
We're going to be measured by the efforts that we take. Right? When I see you grinding, I'm focused on the grind. I saw this brother get up and go out every day.
Right.
When we talk to him, he's out there running and gunning. Hey, y'all, I see y'all later. I got to go. Right? And I'm saying I'm running and gunning every day, but my background is the same every day.
Right.
It's a different grind.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's hard to visualize. But when some of us are out here and I can see the world moving in your environment, I love that. I love to be. Kaneem tells great stories because he's always got a new dynamic every day because he's out there in it every day.
Right.
Larry is driving right now. Larry's out there making it happen. He's gonna come home at the end of the day, and his family's gonna be like, "Well, my dad worked today. My honey worked today. Whatever your wife calls you, right? Or at least, look, he was gone." But what I'm saying is, people have to be proud of your grind, man. And if you're not moving, you're dying. Right?
Yeah.
Sedentary. I have to struggle. I have to get up, make myself get up from my desk because of sedentary. It'll set in.
Right.
Your body will begin to shut down if you're not up and moving. What you want the people around you to see is movement.
Right.
That's what you want. The greatest minds, the wealthiest people say, never stop moving.
Right.
So what you want people to witness is your movement.
Yeah. That's good, man. I can't add nothing to it, Pastor. I'm telling you,
that's a mic drop.
Yeah,
that's a mic drop.
Seriously. The parent, the business owner, whoever you are, when it comes to the fairs, we're leading by example, And so, listen, I was talking to my best friend group the other day, and I was telling them that as a father of 4 girls. By the way, Pastor, I got to reach out because after you hear this, you understand why. As a father of 4 girls, before I had my other 2 kids, I was dealing with anxiety because as a father, for young girls, and then having a wife when we're out in public, we attract a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And so I become hyper vigilant based on my traumatic past, of course, but I become hyper vigilant. My anxiety gets up, and I'm always on edge, especially during the pandemic when we're out in public. And then now we add 2 more kids to that, and so my anxiety sometimes take a hold of me because of the nature of having other people that I'm responsible for as a man, But that's a rational fear. That fear doesn't paralyze me. In fact, the more I acknowledge it, the more I'm able to work through and allow my mind to catch myself when I'm acting out of fear rather than acting out of place of love, of harmony, of joy and peace, But it's real. It's definitely real. And I need them to understand, my kids, that is, and my wife, to understand that these things are not foreign to me. I'm not immune to these things. These are real things that I have to deal with in order to normalize when they feel it. However, the other side of that coin is that they also know that dad pushes through and works through with the right coping mechanisms. When it's overwhelming, I take breaks. When it's too much, I have to acknowledge it, get some water, put on some music, go for a hike. They understand the realness of it, but they also see the plan of how I cope based on that anxiety as well. So it's there, acknowledge, and of course also acknowledge that presence.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, it helps you to recognize what you control and what you don't control.
All right, Larry, appreciate you, man.
See you later, bro. Enjoy your day. Be safe out there, man.
You guys take care.
Peace.
When I hear you talk, man, you talk from a place that, I forgot how old you are, but when I was your age, I didn't have that insight.
Yeah.
For me, it's all learned behavior through experience, through mistakes that I've made, being hard when I should have been soft, but it was the anxiety, it was the fear.
Right.
I can't let this happen. Wait, there's certain things you can't stop from happening, but what you can do is mitigate and work through things when they do happen. It's those types of lessons. And that comes to everybody. It's not just father of daughters, it's a father of children, because there are different types of anxieties, regardless of what sex your children are. Different types of anxieties because you are a patriarch. Right. And ultimately everything rolls up to you. A lot of your family might think it rolls up to them, but ultimately you're the umbrella.
So,
and that's
so
a lot to carry.
Like, so this, the term self-awareness has been kind of big, and I've been even personally trying to be more self-aware of feelings, and you have, you get mad or something just kind of creep up in you, like, why am I feeling this way? You take a moment, you're like, man, what is agitating? What has got me anxious? What has got me feeling a certain way? So would you say at least, you recognize the fear? Do you go down the rabbit hole of questioning, like, why am I afraid of this? Is that healthy?
Yes. I don't spend too much time there.
Right.
I acknowledge it, and of course, you have to sometimes understand where they're coming from, based on it being real, or perceived, or right. And so of course, I take the time to do that. But where I like to spend most of my time is in playing this game with my brain. Right. If this is true in my mind, because it is true in my mind, what else can be true in my mind? And it's a game that I've learned how to play successfully, because the fear hits you. It's like boom, the thought comes in. It's like, man, whoa, and then my body starts to react. I can feel my heart, my chest, and then an acknowledgement of that being real, because it's being acknowledged. Then I go on the far end of the spectrum. If this is a truth in my reality, what can also be true? And so the other side of that also being true is the best case scenario. Right? The best case scenario, because I just played the worst case. So what's the best case scenario? And then I stay there for a little bit. I shop around that. I do window shopping. I get the sensation of, ooh, that looks good. Yeah, I like that, and then it grounds me to a reality to where this possibility is also true to this possibility. So it almost eliminates it out. And then if I can go back to double down, I go back to the more healthy reality. I revisit that one so I can strengthen that pathway of being triggered to end up there rather than going to the negative thought that can come in based on external, stimuli.
Okay.
In 2000, I think it was 2004. I got comfortable with the concept of rebuking Brian. Right?
Yeah.
We love to rebuke others. We love to rebuke circumstances. I rebuke cancer. I rebuke the spirit of fear. I rebuke, your behavior.
Right.
But have you ever looked in the mirror and rebuked yourself?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The day I learned to rebuke Brian, and Brian, and I mean, man, that's foul. You're wrong. You have to, you know what I mean? Come on, man. You got to do better than that, bro.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't take someone else's reaction to your stuff. Sometimes it just takes you. James said I got to examine myself.
Right.
You have to learn to get in your own face. Right. The Bible talks about getting the mote out your own eye before you can get the beam out of your brother's eye. Look at you, man. You know when you foul.
Right.
There's time like my wife. I remember living in LA and having to deal with traffic, and I would get home before my wife. I didn't have to deal with traffic because I was at the church around the corner, and she was coming home from the 405. And she'd come home and she wouldn't decompress before she walked in the door. And when she walked in the door, it was like Beetlejuice coming through the door.
Wow.
And there were times that I'm like I said to her, you knew you were hot before you came up the stairs. Right? Go back to the car. Sit there for a minute before you come up. I remember one day I told my wife, I said, go back to the car, drive around the block one more time. And then come home and let's try that again.
Let's do it again. Yeah.
It's so easy to say that to somebody else.
Right.
But will Kaneem come in from the 75 after sitting in traffic for 3 hours, right? And say, bro, you can't go in the house like this. Right?
Yeah.
Get your act together, man. Sit here for a minute, get it together. There are times now today, my wife is coming in from the mall and I'll see her on the camera. I hear the garage open and see her on the camera sitting in the car. I go to the car to meet her when she comes home every day, right? To get her laptop.
Right.
But I have to give her 5 minutes because I've learned she sits in the car for 5 minutes and waits. And I'm like, we're 26 years later. Right. And she's sitting in the car, giving herself time so that she kind of gets out of the car with a smile on her face. Right. To come in the house and know how to deal with people. And so we have to do that. We got to learn to rebuke ourselves, man.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
And learn from our mistakes so the pattern doesn't repeat itself.
All right. So I'm going to wrap it up real quick. Make sure you are purchasing the dark inside of you.
Hey.
That genius.
There it is.
I put the link up in both YouTube and Facebook. I pinned it to the top. Make sure you go to your link, support him, He has other books as well, and he has music. Make sure you are following, sharing, reviewing. And
those reviews really help.
Get the review in.
Yeah.
So Matt, I appreciate you for being here, sharing your expertise and your knowledge. That's appreciate you as well. So thank you guys for rocking with us. Mama Core, I'm gonna do better. I promise. I'm gonna do better.
That way she doesn't ping me.
Right.
She be pinging. I'm like, Mom, you can ping AD, right? You have his number.
Yes, he does have my number.
Get on him, man.
So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Guest or just be us. But I appreciate you guys. Listen, again, make sure you guys follow Matt, keeping up with him. He has some great stuff. We're gonna take this the dark inside of you to the next level.
Yes, indeed.
So we're definitely gonna make this happen. Appreciate him for sharing his time because his time is costly. So we don't take it for granted. We don't take it for granted.
We are benefiting. Yeah.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah,
All
Pastor.
right, guys. So
But before we leave, Pastor,
yeah,
that's just a great point, man, of taking that time for yourself.
yes,
Great advice. I'm glad to hear that your wife is exercising it. I think all of us need to do that. Take that
right,
time to just let
yes,
that stuff go. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, but take that time for you. Great point.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
appreciate
That's why
it.
we're 30 minutes late today. All right.
Yeah, man,
I
take that
needed a
time.
minute. I
Take that
needed a
time.
minute. I needed a minute. All right. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Be blessed. Keep pushing. Keep growing. Know that 988. If you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis, make sure you dial 988. And stay connected to us. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. You leaning in? You good, Brian? You look
Yeah, I'm
like
good.
you're leaning in to say something. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. So
I noticed I had a tear. I don't know when it came, but I said something that had some tear flowing, man.
Listen, man, you were
so
preaching
calm.
earlier, man. You were definitely preaching earlier.
Right?
Yeah.
Reese, appreciate you coming in. I know you feeling. You got that feeling. Listen, I meant to put this. Where's that last comment that he put? Not the last one. This one. He said, "I got rid of my feelings when I got rid of my 8-ball jacket. I can't.
Wow.
Not the 8-ball. Not the 8-ball. All right. Know that
Wow.
we love you. Jesus love you better. Stay safe. Make good choices, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out."